So if there's one thing that we all know, it's that retail doesn't stand still. Customer expectations keep rising, channels keep multiplying, and technology keeps evolving. So how are you supposed to keep pace without compromise? To walk you through the future of content and commerce and how Amplience is helping leading retailers pave the way is our co-CEO and CTO, John Williams. So please join us in giving him a very warm welcome to the stage.
So Imagine was written in 1971. It was a world in turmoil, a world divided, and that song dared for us all to imagine something different, a world of peace, a world of hope, and a world of possibilities. And today, 50 years later, we're in the same position. With the emergence of AI, we have to reimagine, we have to imagine what our future is going to be like. And it's up to us to choose what that future is. We could imagine a dystopia, right? Where there's only a few corporations out there controlling the world. There's no room for humans anymore. And if machines are doing everything, and there'll be a focus on efficiency, and the drive for efficiency is driving everything. And you could see that actually happening right now, because we're seeing it out there right now in the industry, the drive for efficiency. But actually, as Amplience, we've proven efficiency is not a theory. We've already applied generative AI to the content supply chain, and we've actually increased efficiency by 40% in some instances. But what you've got to understand is efficiency actually enough? Is that where we should be focusing on? And if you look at what we do on Black Friday, we generate something in the order of 1.2 million requests per second, 100 million assets dynamically generated. And that's real efficiency of generative AI, and that's efficiency at scale. But is efficiency enough? I think we at Amplience think that the real driver for business success is actually people. It's people that innovate. It's people that change the world, and it's people that are the most valuable thing that you have in your company. And efficiency is great, but if you only focus on efficiency, you'll fall behind, right? If you focus on optimization, you're going to lose in the long run. And actually, efficiency isn't enough. Innovation wins. And it's people that innovate, not the machines. And right now, it's never been a more important time to innovate, with more and more channels increasing every day, with Gen Z and Gen Alpha rewriting all the rules on our expectations, and the constant shift in technology, constantly moving forward. There's never been a more important time to innovate. And what we need today are new AI tools. But not tools that are there for us developers. I would still regard myself as a bit of a developer. Not tools just for us developers, but tools in the hands of the business, because it's the business that can innovate, and it's business that can really make a difference. And at Amplience, our vision has never really changed. It's always been content at the speed of ideas. And in 2010, James Brooke is here, and some of us old a lot. In 2010, we released interactive merchandising. It was a first CMS for merchandisers that allowed them to use interactive media in really interesting ways and help to sell products. And then in 2011, we actually developed and introduced dynamic media, and it took away all of the manual image variant generation, no more Photoshop, and it done literally billions of transforms live and real time. And then we released dynamic content back in 2018. It was a first headless CMS that was specifically for e-commerce, and it helped content production teams be far more agile and be quicker and actually be truly omni-channel. And we're basically going to take That's 16 years of innovation in e-commerce, innovation in content and AI. We're going to take that and we're going to create something new. And what we're calling this new thing is Amplience Workforce. It's going to be the first AI content platform designed for brands and retailers. But before we go into that, I just want to kind of set the scene a little bit. This is what everybody thinks their content supply chain looks like, or they hope it would look like, or they imagine what it would look like, when in reality, it looks something like this. You know, it's one of the biggest problems that our customers are facing today. The content supply chain is slow, it's inefficient, and it can't scale. And the reason why is it's full of outdated processes. It's full of tools that are old and inefficient. It's full of complex design applications. It has emails, spreadsheets, and messages, not to mention a little sprinkle of project management software. And what does that mean? It actually means that things go slow. There's more rework. There's miscommunication. It just is really difficult to scale. So is AI the actual answer? Well, we believe it is, but only if it's done right. So I've got this standard 2x2 chart sort of thing I did in business school. And if you think about the world of the content supply chain and AI, it's basically got two dimensions. You've got your how much is done by AI and how much is done by humans. You've got tasks and workforce. Tasks meaning something small like removing a background, translating a paragraph, etc. Or you've got workflows which are a series or sequence of activities, approvals, and steps that work together to get a defined outcome. And at the beginning, this is where we were, right? We were right at the edge of everything being human. CMS, DAM, PIM, all manual and all human. And then ChatGPT arrived with co-pilots and assistants, and businesses moved here. And it's great. It's actually helped people generate far more content than they've ever done before. But not just any content is important, right? It has to have the right tone of voice. It has to have your brand guidelines, and it needs to be able to talk to your audience. So accuracy really, really matters, right? If you don't get that right, you end up with weirdness in the generation. And if you get one thing going out into live that is a bit weird, that is a bit awkward, it can really damage your brand. So accuracy really, really matters. But imagine a new tool that you can actually use any of the frontier foundation models. Imagine a tool with an interface where you can actually define your brand tone of voice, a tool that can set up audiences, a tool that can connect to all of your e-commerce platforms, your PIMs, your sources of data to make sure what you produce is grounded in truth, in product truth. Imagine something in which it's designed for e-commerce, directly for you guys, out of the box and kind of ready to go. You don't have to imagine, obviously, because I'm here. And we're calling this Workforce Studio. And Workforce Studio is built on Content Studio, which we kind of showed last year, an award-winning tool that helps brands and retailers generate huge amounts of content. This is what it looks like. You can create content at lightning speed. You can define your brands. You can define your brand's tone of voice. You can define your guidelines. You can even define your audiences. You can connect to all of the e-commerce systems out of the box. You can basically run, test, and play with this tool, and it gives you massive benefits. And that's really cool, right? I mean, doing assistants and doing ChatGPT, having Content Studio, it's all great stuff. It really increases your productivity. But it's only dealing with one task, and one task at a time. And if you think about it, where the real value, where you get the real gains, is not in the task one at a time. It's in the workflows. That's where you get the real gains. And most businesses are stuck here right now. Many companies are integrating directly with, say, the ChatGPT API or any other APIs, and they're doing that direct chaining and integration right at the back end, and maybe some developer tools. But the challenge of that is very similar to Mac. The challenge with that is that it becomes technical. It becomes a developer activity. All of the great prompts and things around your brands get locked away in code. And what that means is you need to call an engineer every time you want to make a change. Your business and your technology start to drift apart. What was simple now become complex. And that's the problem. That is a real problem. So imagine a tool that doesn't do that. Imagine a tool where we take the heritage of Mark that we've already done with the usability of Content Studio. So you can allow business users to test, to optimize, and to experiment with outputs, and without calling a developer. But developers still have flexibility. They can still integrate all of those use cases directly into your existing content supply chain. And we're calling this Workforce One, and it's available right now. It allows you to choose your use cases. So look at your content supply chain and optimize your content supply chain. You choose your use cases. You then optimize and play and evolve those use cases in the Workforce Studio and get your developers to then integrate all of those use cases through the APIs. And it's available right now. This is a reality. It's not a concept. So you might want to start thinking about where you would start, how you can use this. Which bottlenecks would you tackle first? And as the team is here, why not go and try it before you leave? And this is an example of Workforce One. This is an example of a simulated content supply chain that we've ran. And you can see how quick and simple it is, how many variants you can create from a single image. And if you do that, you can gain up to 40% process improvement just by applying Workforce One and targeting particular parts of the content supply chain. So we've talked about efficiency, and we've gained a lot of efficiency in the content supply chain. But let's be honest, like all the workflow is exactly the same, right? The content supply chain, it's the same content supply chain, it's the same processes. And those processes were created years back. And they were created with the tools that you had way back. And the problem with agentic technology is that many businesses will start to use agentic technology to solve this problem, but they just code each step one at a time. So they take the old process and you just replicate the steps, step by step, and build it in code. And that's fine, except now you've basically, again, took control away from the business and you've created a technical project. And when you create a technical project, you're now in a build, test, run sort of cycle and release cycle. And things can start to take weeks. You can no longer respond to changes as you would expect. The changes have already happened in the market, and you're still waiting for it to go. And if you can't adapt quickly, you can't compete. So I would again say, imagine a tool that is very, very different. Imagine a tool where the business themselves can actually create their own content supply chain. Imagine if the business themselves could grab a library of agents and just connect them together with no wiring and no code. Imagine if you could still incorporate developers. All the great agents that you've already built, if you've built them, or new agents, can be simply added into the platform at your fingertips, instant and scalable. And you don't have to imagine for much longer, because this is the new innovation that we're introducing. It's workforce flows. It's super exciting. We demoed it out recently in ShopTalk and got some great response, and some of you guys are working with us on this. But what is workforce flows? Well, it's an intuitive interface that basically allows you to select from a library, a whole massive library of agents, connect them together. So you just select them, grab them, connect them together, and build your own workflow. The number of agents you have are huge. So you can have agents that can create content, obviously. You have agents that can do research. They can go off the internet and check your site, check your competitor's site, check your supplier's site, and make sure that what you're going to generate is grounded in real product fact. And you have full control. You have full control of the thing. You can drop in human review at any point in the workflow. And when you trigger a human review, it will stop the process until the approval is made. And not only that, you can then actually make updates before you let it go forward. I mean, that's human in the loop built in. But let's talk about some of the tools that are out there. From a tools perspective, there is everything from background removal, auto cropping, drop shadows, auto alignment, a lot of really good tools when it comes to images. And what's really exciting is when we release this, which is not going to be long, I'm looking at Darren and Nick, when we release this, we're going to be releasing connectors to everything that you have today, so you can connect them into your content supply chain. Those connectors are going to include connectors to, obviously, e-commerce, PIM, SEO platforms, so you can bring in keywords, search, personalization, and CDPs like MAP. James has joined us today. We'll have connectors for everything that you can pull into the system, as well as distribute content out of the system. And we were proud to say that we're going to be the first content platform that's going to include Q Business. It's going to integrate directly with Q Business. The reason why that's important is it gives your entire content supply chain access to the data and the knowledge securely from your enterprise through Q Business. So you have an amazingly intelligent content supply chain. So workforce flows really enables businesses to design their workflows, to test their workflows, run them at scale. And this is what we'll be releasing. This is a massive innovation for us, and we're very excited about showing it to you today. But what we're about is not just a product launch. It's not just about a single product. We're actually on, there's many times in our lives when there is a big revolution, a tech revolution, that changes everything, right? And it changes the world. And I lived in the 80s. That's how old I am. I lived in the 80s, and that change was analog to digital, right? It changed everything from how we work, how we play, how we shop, and how we live. It moved from knobs and dials to digital interfaces. It ended up with the internet in our pocket. And who would have thought that you could do actual video calls across the world? And the digital revolution made that happen. And yes, we did lose some jobs, right? There was no typing pools anymore. But who would have thought that there would be e-commerce merchandisers as a career, or a programmer as a career? Things just changed. It created new jobs. And we are on the cusp of another revolution, from digital to cognitive. And cognitive systems are systems that are based on goals. They're based on intent. And it is going to change everything. And it will disrupt, and it will change things that we do and the jobs that we do. But at Amplience, we actually believe that the real driving force in business are people, and that actually by having the tools to innovate, that's going to make a massive difference. Now, before we finish there, some of you guys would have noticed that I didn't talk about the fourth quadrant, right? And the fourth quadrant is what I call agentic. What I want to talk about is where we're going to take Amplience. And the agentic quadrant is one of the most exciting things that we've got. Imagine a new CMS where you can actually generate all the content you need from a single brief. I'll give you an example. Imagine if it's Black Friday and you go, I want to generate all the content for this Black Friday, but I want to base it on last Black Friday. But this time, I don't want to theme it on cats, because you're into cats. You want to theme it on dogs, because dogs are the next big thing. And you want to change things like the promotion cycle from 5 to 7 to 10%. And the system will run off. It will find all the content that you have. It will create new images, update videos, update copy. It will schedule all of your content where it needs to be scheduled and place it where it needs to be placed. And all you have to do is find the content, review it, update it, talk to it, replace that dog that's a Labrador, golden retriever to a black Labrador. That's all you need to do. You just talk to the CMS, and it creates everything. And that's the future of Amplience. That's where we're taking this. And we are a company that is focused on content moving at the speed of ideas. And we're focused on your people and helping them amplify those people so they can scale like never before. So, thank you.